What's approaching the supreme moment? Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? Back at it again. This time we're going to be testing out the Extreme Intelligence Paragus and Broly unit. It is a pretty decent unit, and it's actually very interesting how they set the unit up. But let's just go ahead and start off, and we'll cover the stats, and then we'll go into the actual kind of footage and gameplay and whatnot. So this is the leader skill of Extreme Intelligence type plus 3 Ki, HP attack and defense, increase of 100%. So pretty decent leader skill there. The super attack will cause supreme damage to enemy and also lowers attack. The passive skill, Pure Saiyans and combination category allies plus 2 Ki, attack and defense, increase of 40%. Attack increase of 130% when facing a Pure Saiyans category enemy. So I kind of like the attention to detail that they left for this unit, because I don't know about the new Broly movie since I haven't seen it. I'm waiting for the official US release, but you know, in the older film, you know, Paragus and Broly were pretty much left to die because of, you know, Broly's power level, you know, as an infant, and Paragus was pretty much caught in the crossfire. So naturally, they do have this, you know, vengeful hatred and grudge against the Saiyans, particularly the Pure Saiyans. So that makes sense as to why they get such an attack increase. I mean, 130% is pretty a pretty good amount of boost. So it kind of tells you how much of a grudge and hatred they have for the Pure Saiyans. So I thought that was a nice little touch there. Moving on, Link skills, Saiyan Warrior Race will increase attack by 700. Saiyan Lineage is plus 1 Ki. Hardened Grudge plus 1 Ki. Cold Judgment is 20% increase to defense. Brutal Beatdown is 10% increase to attack. Prepare for Battle plus 2 Ki, and Fierce Battle is 15% increase to attack. Ironically, these guys fall into the Pure Saiyans category, even though they hate their asses, but you know, it is what it is. Also, combination category is another one that they fall into. At Rainbow status, you're looking at HP levels of 13,903, attack of 13,429, and defense of 9,285. 12 Ki Multiplier is 140%. So this unit definitely does have its somewhat limitations when it comes to the type of Dokkan events or bosses that you're facing. Again, you only get the attack increase of 130% when facing Pure Saiyans category type enemies, but you still get a 40% increase to attack and defense, as well as a plus 2 Ki for Pure Saiyans and combination category allies. So that is a pretty substantial amount, and the Link skills are good enough to where you could essentially put them on a Pure Saiyans or a combination category team. You're looking at, you know, your typical Link sets like Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Cold Judgment could be one. Prepare for Battle and Fierce Battle obviously are pretty common Link skills. So this unit's not really going to struggle too much in terms of linking up with the other units. Again, it's just that limitation that you're not going to see the 130% increase to attack unless you're facing a Pure Saiyans type enemy. So you know, that is a limitation. You'll see the fluctuations up and down between this unit's attack potential based on the types of enemies you're facing, but overall it's a pretty solid unit. Again, I think there's more of a focus on the supporting abilities of this unit as well. I mean, Ki plus 2 attack and defense increase of 40% for Pure Saiyans and combination category allies is a pretty good boost overall, and you can certainly run this guy on a Pure Saiyans team. You could also run this guy on an extreme type team. You still get the extreme villain or villain type leader skill boost depending on the type of units you include. But overall, I mean, it's probably meant to be on either a Pure Saiyans or a combination team for the most part. And the Pure Saiyans team does include a lot of units that, you know, work pretty well with each other. It's a Saiyan category at the end of the day, so you're not really worried about struggling with, you know, link sets between units on the team. You're not really going to have issues there. But of course, this guy is going to share most of the link skills with one of the Broly units. You know, so it's kind of meant to go together with it. But it does help out Broly's overall potential, because you're still getting that, in addition to the link sets, you're getting a 40% increase to attack and defense overall. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting unit. It almost seems like the combination category is definitely going to be, you know, layered on over and over the course of probably 2019. It's probably going to be a pretty solid category by the end of the year. there already are a fair amount of units that fall into that category. I think really the only issue with that category itself is really the only good leader that we currently have in Dokkan Battle is the LR Yamcha and Puar. So that's a 100% boost overall. Obviously substantially less than some of the other category type leaders. So definitely going to be probably going to be some additional leaders included for that category, in my opinion. I mean, it's probably going to happen probably the early part of 2019, honestly. So again, the 130% increase of attack when facing Pure Saiyans type enemies is definitely going to make a lot of difference in terms of this unit's overall output. However, even if you're not facing Pure Saiyans, you're still going to provide benefit to the rest of the team. As you can see in the rotation here, you've got the new transforming Broly unit and then the Easy A Agility Broly unit. They're going to benefit from whatever boost that Paragus and Broly provide. So it's going to help out the overall team. Not necessarily meant to probably hit as much. If you're fortunate enough to be facing a Pure Saiyans enemy, then you're obviously going to get the maximum benefit of the passive skill overall. But even if that's not the case, it's still a pretty solid unit overall. Again, I do really like the attention to detail that they did include for this unit. I think restricting the attack increase of 130% to just conditions when you're only facing Pure Saiyans type enemies is a very nice touch. I mean, it's almost like a throwback to the older film. Again, I haven't seen the new movie yet, so I can't really comment on what all occurs in that series because I've stayed away from the spoilers as much as possible. But in the older film, like I said, they went through hell and back, you know what I mean, to make it to where they were. So, of course they're gonna have some ill will against the people that put them through that shit. I mean, I would. I mean, so it is what it is, and you can't blame them for that. So you probably noticed that, yeah, there is a substantial reduction to the overall attack output and potential based on this footage you're seeing right now, which is the Hirudegarn enemy. So you're not getting that 130% increase for the attack. So for obvious reasons, it's going to be a lot less in overall attack potential. They definitely did upgrade the super attack animations a lot. I mean, it's definitely a lot more visually appealing, and it's almost like they definitely need to start revising maybe some of the older LRs and updating their super attacks. I mean, there are quite a few older super attack animations that definitely need to upgrade. I'm speaking of units that are still commonly used to this day, and you kind of want to see updated graphics on it, but I don't know if that'll actually take place. They'll probably just save it for a new unit, honestly. I mean, I don't see them upgrading the current existing units super attack animation. I mean, it almost seems like it'd be potential revenue for Bandai and Akatsuki to just generate a new card. It'd be nice if they updated some of the animations for the super attack on some of the units that are already in the game, but I highly doubt it. It'd be nice, but I doubt it. In some ways, too, for those that haven't seen the movie yet, and I'm sure there's a fair share of people that haven't, you are seeing glimpses of what the movie, or what happens in the movie based on some of the super attacks that exist in the game now. I mean, it's honestly hard to avoid that at this point because of, the film being out for a couple weeks now in Japan. The rest of the world's pretty much just waiting on their official release, but you do definitely see glimpses of stuff happening in the movie, but I don't know. In my opinion, it kind of makes me want to watch the film even more. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. It's just kind of funny, I guess, in a way. But like I said, overall, this unit is definitely a pretty good support for the Pure Saiyans team. It's a little bit unfortunate that it didn't fall into other categories, like potentially movie bosses or stuff like that. It would have been nice to have one more category for this unit instead of just two, but it's still a solid unit. I think it's a good support. The 130% increase to attack would definitely help as well when it applies. But you know, those conditions could be a little bit limited in some cases. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and kind of found out a little bit more about the unit. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and definitely stay tuned for next time.